Well, it's mine, so always in just get my bag out, look right there. I went right there. Yes, he is. I did not. I went right there. I seen him.
Found on social media, and as you can tell by the text on the screen, the man on the left here has been accused of stealing his own luggage as an anonymous accuser made the complaint to airport police.
What's good, YouTube? Welcome to Visible Truth Media. This is your host, 30 God. And today's episode is about putting this officer right here on blast. And not only the officer, but we're going to jump into the situation, man. We got this viral video about this guy right here. He was accused of stealing his own bag at an airport. So what happened was he's at this airport and this anonymous tip man or female, I'm going to say it was a Karen, okay, or a male, it was a female Karen or a male Karen, alerted somebody that this guy looked suspicious and he was taking people's bag or stealing bags. So then the officer approaches him.
So what the f is the problem, bro? What is the problem? You're going to be under arrest. There you go.
So anyway, this officer approaches this man, and in fear of being arrested, he pretty much has to give this man his ID. You understand what I'm saying? He did the right thing in the situation because, I mean, he didn't commit a crime. So if you don't commit a crime, you don't have to legally give the officer your ID. But in this case, jail was the threat. Okay, so he had to give it up, right?
As he then appears to ask the gate staff to confirm it, the man's identity as well, as the officer continues to stare at this man like he has already decided that he did in fact steal the bag.
Imagine being in this situation, right? And I always say this, I mean, you guys tell me this all the time, but look, imagine being in this situation where you're leaving or coming into an airport and this officer who probably was told by another white person that you were stealing something. And so now this officer got in his mind. You've seen what the Georgia Police Department do. They train by shooting black targets. Well, now, you know, he could be one of these officers, right? So you walk up to this guy, this black man, and to this officer, a nigga, and you already in your mind believe that this guy's guilty. There's nothing he can say. This officer, look how he's looking at him.
My bag though. No. That's what I'm saying to you. It's mine, bro. This one right there. Oh, that don't make no sense, bro. It's mine. It's mine. I did not. I was right there.
So then he tries to offer the officer to look at something in the bag because, you know, if I stole the bag, how am I able to identify what's in the bag? And then the officer tries to shake his head like he don't want to see what's in the bag. But bro, you just came up to me and caused this whole scene and accused me of something that I didn't do. And now you don't want to see what it is. Why? Is it because now you know the heat's going to come to you? Or maybe is it because you're seeing somebody recording you?
You see my plane ticket? You want to see my ticket in there?
Like I saw him with that bag earlier.
Okay, cool. All right.
Well, y'all run the cameras. Y'all got cameras.
Yeah, I just don't have time to get another incident going on.
Right there, whoever was recording it, they the true MVP of this whole situation. We got to find out what that person's name is. But anyway.
And just to add more evidence that this seems to be a case of racial profiling from the officer, he backs down immediately once the white woman recording the incident jumps in to defend her fellow passenger, again begging us to question why he believed her right away and not the black man who was profusely asserting his innocence.
Yeah, and that's a whole nother topic. Like, yeah, okay. Hey, officer, it was his bag. That's pretty much how the white woman came to him and told him. You see what he did? He shook his head. We're going to play it back again. Look at him shake his head.
It was over there.
I know.
It was a family.
He was sitting by it much earlier. I saw him.
Okay. You want to see my plane ticket? You want to see my ticket in there?
So he's shaking his head. This officer, he needs to be retrained. Okay, he needs to be retrained on certain situations. But yeah, that does raise a question, man. As soon as a white person came up and spoke to him and told him that this black man wasn't lying, the officer calmed down immediately.
So we had all been kind of sitting in that gate for a long time, and I had walked past this man with his bag a couple of times on my way to the bathroom with my daughter. A bag was sitting kind of, you know, by itself kind of, but the gentleman whose bag it is, Daeshaun, had walked over, I think, to the trash to throw something away. While he had walked away, another family grabbed the bag and handed it to a police officer who was in the gate area because he was turning off a door alarm. And so the cops started asking if anybody knew whose bag it was. But somebody said that they thought maybe a family had left it who had already boarded. So the gate agent was calling down to the flight attendant to have that family, or to ask that family whether that was their bag. And that's when Daeshaun walked up and said, hey, that's my bag. Once I said something to the police officer said it was fine, but they still held him and did not allow him onto the plane until he showed his ID. But the bag was not stolen. The gate agent confirmed that it wasn't that family's bag, or the flight attendant had called back to the gate agent and let them know. But, from what I can tell, the fact that once I stepped in, the cop changed his tone, that feels like racial profiling to me.
That my question to you guys, is it safe to say that this officer is racist? I think he is. Luckily, nobody was hurt in this situation. And this is why we don't trust the police, man. I personally don't leave my home because of situations like this. It can just come up, and I don't have the temper that, I don't have the patience that a lot of these people that I see in these videos have, man. I probably would be dead. I don't know what would happen if that was me in that situation, but I would be pretty hot, especially right now, man. I'm getting death threats. I'm getting emails telling me my time is coming. Like it's pretty hot. You get what I'm saying? So anyway, man, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, man. Till next time, I'm gonna catch y'all later. Leave in the comments what you guys think about it, man. It really helps us out, man. Peace.